this. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. Now I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and we've got a special guest that we are about to give a jingle to right now over the phone. Go ahead and introduce him, Rio. Who we got coming on here?
We are going to call Daniel Roy, our special guest, from Fort Worth, Texas.
Boom. Let's get it.
What's up, bro?
How's it going, Daniel?
Oh, pretty good. What y'all?
We're doing all right.
Not bad, not bad. Excited to have you on.
All right, glad to be part of it.
Yeah, for sure. I was just telling these guys a little bit about you, starting up the gym there in Haltom City. So I'll just hand it over to you and let you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and when you started the gym and how that went about.
All right, so Daniel here, Daniel Roy, Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I just got my black belt in December. I've been training for about 13 years now.
Congrats on that, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Congrats,
it.
man. That's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, man. A lot of bumps and bruises to the body. It gets a little rough sometimes, but
yeah.
So I decided to open up my gym almost 6 years ago now. I was teaching at another gym, and they had closed down, and I had already invested a bunch of time in a few guys, and then I told them they'd be interested if I open up a spot to continue training. And they said, yeah, and most of them are still with me today, 6 years later, still going. I started in a little 800-square-foot warehouse with no AC. And, man, here in Texas, it just gets very hot during the summer. So
Tough, man.
Wow.
The first night we opened up, we didn't man, we were in gi, and, man, it just about killed everyone the first night.
Bunch of fans rolling up in there.
Eventually we got like an AC put in like the window, and the walls are concrete, so it was kind of hard to hang things and do stuff. And luckily there was like a cutout where AC used to be, so got the AC going and a couple fans, and yeah, man, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the most pleasant sometimes.
I like the grind right there, starting from right there, and then I did read. You ended up moving into what, like a 1,200 square foot place after that?
So yeah, we went from 800 for the first year, and we started growing, and then we made it to a 1,200 square foot building down the street from there in Haltom, and then spent 2 years there. Outgrew, and then moved to my place I'm at now. That's like 2,500 square feet, and you got AC, changing room, and like lobby. Man, I was feeling a little luxurious,
Yeah, right.
Where it came from.
That's awesome.
And then, man, we're doing just fine. And then, just COVID came through and just really just like kick my ass, man. Like there were some tough nights, man. I'd have like one student on the mat, sometimes none, and still trying to show up, and show face, like be smiling and be charismatic with my students and stuff. And it was hard, man, during those COVID times. And we couldn't train. It was social distancing, and just kept pushing. Yeah. Just kept pushing, just kept praying, man, that it was gonna get better. And thank God, like we're doing better again. Like my beginners program going. The gym is looking, more hopeful now. Cause it's a grind, man. Like there's a lot more gyms popping up, so the market's a little bit more saturated now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, everybody wants to be an instructor, which is cool, man. Because jiu-jitsu is so awesome, man. So many benefits and definitely a lot of stress relief. So.
Yeah,
but it's challenging, you run your own business, and I do it part-time because I have a morning job as well.
Okay, what do you do on the side?
So I work for the city of Fort Worth. I've been there almost 16 years. Do construction inspections.
Okay, yeah.
And so I've been there. In May it'll be 16 years, and it'll be 6 years for the gym. So yeah, I'm in it for the long haul and everything. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to run it part-time. But I mean, we're doing okay.
Right. That's pretty awesome going through the grind of, ourselves. We do this podcast and we're also, fathers as you are yourself and, working for our families as well and all that kind of stuff. So good to hear some other guys out there doing the same thing.
And the positive side of like not just the grind, but his hard work
showing
up and continuing to grow too, which is huge and big time too.
Yeah,
for sure. Because I saw unfortunately, I saw some of my friends had to close their gyms down during COVID, and I feel bad for them because I know they had invested so much time and effort, and that's their dream, that's their passion, and no fault of their own. They had to close.
So have you came back since COVID, or we're not? I shouldn't say we're technically over it or anything like that, but since stuff has gotten a hell of a lot more lax, have you gained a hell of a lot more fighters or jiu-jitsu people?
Yes, so it's been more relaxed. Like the downside, like every time there's a new wave, a new variant,
yeah,
like everybody kind of gets scared,
Yeah.
and everybody kind of gets scared, man. They like kind of, hey man, I'm gonna take some time off, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Right.
I mean, I understand, everybody has their fears and stuff, but as a business owner, I'm like, man, that's just like some more money I have to go make up, and I was never really in it to like, try to get rich or anything. I just love jiu-jitsu, and like, I love spreading the positive vibes, but I also at the same time I got to keep the place open, and and hopefully that was the last variant, and we're picking up again.
There we go.
I started a couple new classes, and like this new fundamentals class I got going on Tuesday and Thursdays at 7. I've been getting a lot of good reviews. Like there's a lot more technique, a lot more drilling, positional training, and a lot less like savage open mat like.
Right.
So
Right.
So,
You're so I did have another question for you. By the way, I'm Jimmer, by the way, one of Rio's buddies here. And so you said that you became a black belt, right, in December?
yes, sir.
So can you explain the difficulty of going through that while you're doing a gym? Because I assume since you're running your own, it's not as simple as going through another gym and like moving your way up that way.
Sure. Like so my time's already kind of split from work and then running my business. We're trying to find time to train was pretty difficult, but I go once, twice a week to my coach's gym. Had to fit it in, and that was difficult because I couldn't be there all the time as much as I wanted to. So
Right.
mentally, it was harder to see my other friends get progressing, through the ranks, and I'm kind of was like held back a little bit because I wasn't putting in the amount of mat time that everybody else was, which I understand. But at the same time, like just to keep pushing and just like it took forever, man, like to understand that it's just a belt. Like
Right.
I always like everybody wants a black belt, but just trying to be patient. When I was going through purple belt and then brown belt, just like being patient and like all my friends getting their black belts, and I'm like, and understanding that it's no reflection on my technique. It's just the time. I haven't put in enough time, and that was it. Like so, just trying to be like mentally like, hey man, it doesn't mean that you're bad at jiu-jitsu because you're not a black belt yet. It's just you just can't put in the same time everyone else is because you're running this business. So
Right.
that was probably the most challenging piece for me. And then I love training, so the grind wasn't too bad. It's just mentally like seeing my friends getting promoted and like not trying to rush it, and I definitely was not gonna ask like, hey man, give my belt.
Right.
Yeah.
But so at the end of the day, I mean, regardless, you were purple, brown, you worked your way up and did everything like that. But at the end of the day, it does look a hell of a lot better even when you say black belt. It's like it's like when you're sitting down next to, when you say Hall of Fame. We're talking other sports, but like we're sitting with Hall of Fame quarterback or something like that. We're sitting with a black belt in jiu-jitsu, right?
Oh, for sure. Like
So-
people would ask me, like, you trained jiu-jitsu? You've been training for this long? Like, are you black belt yet? And I was like, no, not yet.
Well, that's because you're doing so many things, and that's just a testament to you that you were still able to get that done, that accomplished, while going through all that too. I did have one other question. I'll give you guys yours. What do you do to battle off? Like you just said that you have a bunch of like gyms like popping up and the market's getting a little saturated. What are you doing to stay either ahead of the curve, or what you promote at your gym to help bring people in to sell on, like, hey, this is what I have going on. This is what I can do for you. I'm just curious what that is.
A lot of mine has been like word of mouth. So like that, I take that, kindly, because like, hey man, you need to come train with this guy here. I'm very personable, and so I try to make it like a fun environment where they're still learning, and I'm still progressing. I go train with my coaches, and I compete here and there, to kind of show my skill set like out in the open. I haven't competed as much like as I should or probably should have, but I just been so busy, and I don't commit enough time to it. So, and I'm offering more classes, and just like keep my practice pretty competitive with everyone else.
There you go.
A big positive environment. Like we have a good time. Like we train hard, but at the same time we're having a good time. It's not like just drill sergeant, like just being angry and just.
No.
We tell a lot of jokes. We crack a lot of jokes, and we just have a really good time.
No, that's awesome.
I try different classes. Like I'll mess around with the times and try to act different time slots here and there in the different classes. And the fundamental program I just started, like, man, it's been taking off. It's been filling up pretty quickly. Getting a lot of positive vibes about that, and a lot of it's like trial and error. Like I'll try something and see if it works for me. And, a lot of marketing, Facebook marketing, Instagram, Google, Yelp. Yelp was not the most friendly, but
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably some Karen out there. Just putting something. But so when do you sleep?
Oh man,
Man,
I really like. I'm in bed by like 9:30. Like whatever else is going on, everything's got to shut off. Like I've stopped everything. I got to put my phone away. And, like,
Right. Yeah.
man, because I get up at 5 o'clock to go work out in the garage. Lift a little bit, try to keep myself in physical shape. Because, for me, like the face of the gym, I want to make sure I'm looking presentable, keep myself in shape, and be able to still do the moves. Because some of these moves require you to be a little more nimble, a little more flexible. And I don't want to be that guy that'd be like, nah, man, I can't do this move because I'm too broken right now.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So we do have MMA fighters and jiu-jitsu followers that do listen to us. So go ahead and let them know who's your head trainer that you take moves from and get instructed by and get belt ranks.
Lionel Mara from Six Blades Jiu Jitsu.
Okay.
And man, that dude is like an encyclopedia. Like I bring in different moves, different like positions, and like other like four. Just on Saturday is a good example. There was 4 of the black belts on the mat, and they were just all surrounding him, like asking him questions, and like he just had everything, all the answers, and they were like specific details and like positional stuff, and he's just so sharp, and everything's like so smooth and technical, and like I've been progressing so much, following his teachings. He's a half guard player, so that plays right into with my game as well.
Sure.
So playing half guard and deep half guard, and oh man, I've learned so much from him. He's just like so giving with his knowledge. Like he's not like, hey man, pay me this private lesson and I'll show you some stuff. He's like, no man, I show up to class and I ask questions, and I ask a lot of questions because I'm not there that much, so I want to make sure I ask everything I can. And oh man, he's just so open. He's like, hey man, here's this and this, and why are you doing this? And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And because right now, like I've been training for so long, like now it's not like new moves. It's just like more details that I'm not seeing, that I had not seen before, and it's just really sharpening me, making me sharper.
good deal. Hey, Daniel, this is Danny G here. The main question that I have is, you're obviously very passionate about this. 13 years, you're still trying to absorb all the knowledge you can, right? Things like that. What got you into jiu-jitsu in the first place?
Oh man, I always started off as like a pro wrestling fan when I was younger. I always wanted to be in pro wrestling. That was my dream. I had already like planned it out like after high school.
Who's your favorite wrestler then? You got to go with that quick.
Oh man, growing up it was The Rock and Stone Cold.
Oh yeah.
Damn right.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong. All right. We continue this conversation then.
Yeah, but I was definitely like the Attitude Era, man. That's when wrestling for me was like top. I was like, man, this is me. That's gonna be me right there one day. And I had planned it out like a school in San Antonio, Shawn Michaels' school.
shit.
That's gonna be. I had it planned out, dude. Like I was like, that's me.
Hell yeah.
I had my finishing moves already, like the money kick, dude.
The money
I was ready.
kick. He was ready.
Love it.
And then that passion
Fucking
that
right.
found out, like, it's a little harder. Well, we're gonna go this route over here
Yeah.
with the jiu-jitsu and the discipline that goes in that. So
Yeah.
Oh
Most
yeah, and
definitely.
then like I was on some Mustang forum. And I was watching UFC at the time. Oh, I gave up that dream. My mom told me to go to college, and after college, if I still want to pursue that, then go ahead. But just make sure I get like a college degree first. And so I did that, and I got it. And then by that time, I was like kind of burnt out on wrestling, and I started watching UFC. And like some friends invited me to come train in a little like garage. It's pretty much similar to what I used to have. And like man, just like the first class, I got my butt whooped, and I was like, oh man, I need to be in here like every day, like.
Where was
That's
your
how it started,
first
man.
jiu-jitsu class at?
It's called 360 Jiu Jitsu. It was in Arlington. They were open for I think they're closed now, but somebody else took the name over. My friend Casey Gray took the name over. He's in Grand Prairie.
Okay.
So they closed for a while, and he reopened up his gym, and he named it 360 Jiu Jitsu, and that's where I was. Man, at the time we're all trained. I thought these guys knew a bunch of moves and knew everything. I didn't know they were all white belts at the time. Like all of them were white belts. So it was a white belt teaching white belts at the time. So a lot of neck cranks, just a lot of
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
white
like, at
belts
the time,
are
you know.
ruthless.
yeah. Like I didn't at the time. Like I thought it was like I was like, oh shit, this is shit, man. And then later on, I moved to Travis Luter's gym afterwards,
Yep.
and I was like, oh man, there's more belts than white.
Yeah, definitely.
Rio told me an interesting story that you threw him around the mat. Is that true?
Say it one more time.
He's Rio here said that you threw him around the mat when he came down there.
It was probably nice. I probably did it very nicely.
Yeah, but so my question is,
He
did
made
you
it feel
see
so easy.
did you see his foot? Did you miss his half foot?
Yeah. It tripped me out the first time I saw it. I was like,
I told you it's my secret move. Right? He's like, I can't heel hook because there's no heel. What the hell?
yeah, man, it caught me by surprise because like nobody gave me any warning. Like our friend Mikey didn't give me a heads up. You know, he just like, hey man, my friend's gonna come train with us. And I was like, oh cool. And then like we go to start grappling. All of a sudden there's nothing there. And
Yeah. Hey, just imagine like the first time his wife went to go grapple with him too, reached down there and there was nothing there.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but he was a good sport. Chris was good. He was a good sport about it. He didn't like freak out or nothing. He just like, no man, it's some. He told me the accident and everything had happened. Like, but they caught me off guard, man. Like nobody gave me no warning.
No one gave him no warning until it's there, right?
Gotcha.
Oh shit.
So I'm sure you've done a little competing and competition wise. Go ahead and let us know what kind of deals you participated in and how you've done.
So I competed a lot as white and the blue belt, and kind of when I started teaching, I started slowing down and competing. Last time I competed was last summer in June. I did a grappling industries gi and no gi brown belt, and I took double gold. So I was pretty happy with that.
Hell
Very
yeah.
nice. Very nice.
I had 4 matches, and I ended up finished them all with submission. Man, my coach at that time, and he helped me out so much. A lot of it's like the mental side, like the physical side. I got down. I don't mind working out, but it's like the mental side that I was missing for a long time. And Wesley Gann, man, he has like this game plan, like this procedure, like you follow if you go compete, and like it was awesome. Just like visualizing the match and just like all the scenarios and just really just harping down on my game plan. And oh man, I went out there and just executed, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, that is awesome. I did want to touch on one thing. You got a pretty inspiring story about how you gotten into shape and really trimmed down from back in the day, and it's kind of incredible. It is really incredible, honestly. I look at some of your stories sometimes like, man, the dedication and the work that you put in, to just however you put it, you look at yourself and you're like, I want to change that, and then to bust your butt
To actually do it,
and do it, man. That is awesome.
There's a lot of people that want to do that. It's the dedication and the discipline to actually do it. And so for you to actually be able to do it is a huge deal too. So
Man, I appreciate that. Like, it was a long journey. Like, at first, you know, I tried all those fad diets and just cutting carbs out and like trying to rush the process. And you know, the big thing I learned is that you can't rush it. Like, it took you years to gain that weight, and you're not going to get it off in like 3 to 6 months. You know, like it's going to take time. The bigger you are, the more time you're going to have to like be patient and learn a new lifestyle, or you're going to just repeat the cycle and you're going to gain the weight back. Absolutely. So once I learned that, like I started following these YouTubers. I started tracking the macros and learning about the different kinds of types of cardio. Like, it was really eye-opening, like the strength training. So now I became addicted. Like, now I do weightlifting and like I'll run. I've ran a couple of marathon, like a bunch of half marathons and obstacle courses. And I just like staying in shape because I get to eat a little more then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I get to satisfy the inner fat boy, you know?
Yeah. It never goes away. You can't hide that.
That's
coming from one right here. I'm telling you that right now. I don't. You sit there and do whatever you want. It's still kind of barking back there.
Yeah.
Because I still have like the biggest sweet tooth. So like I'd like, all right, if we go run these 6 miles, that means we can have this many chocolate cakes afterwards. You know, just keep that balance. But yeah, my biggest, I think I was like 265. You know, I couldn't run a mile. Definitely couldn't do any pull-ups. And then right now I'm like 199, and you know, I can do like pull-ups for like sets. And of course, like I said, I ran a full marathon already.
That's awesome.
Damn.
And I'm working for my first lifting competition. It'd be in August. So I'm trying to put some power right there. Like, I started deadlifting last year with my boy Noel Trevino at Strong Performance.
Okay.
And I was deadlifting 185 to start with, and I felt pretty pitiful. Like, man, I can't pick up my own body weight. But now I did like 425 a few weeks ago, so I feel pretty happy about that. It's like my biggest moment for strength.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a big jump.
So, you used to do that yourself there, Danny, didn't you?
Yeah. I did powerlifting for about 6 years, I guess. So it's definitely a different animal, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Like on Saturday, I was working with my coach, my powerlifting coach. A lot of technique that goes into it. It's just not like just that raw power. Like, just foot positioning, hip placement. You know, like setting the lats and like, oh man, it was like I didn't realize there was this much that went into it.
Yeah.
I just want to just pick the weight up, just pick it up and put it back down. But there's a lot more details into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're just well-rounded. Running marathons, doing powerlifting, jiu-jitsu. Damn, son. That's amazing.
I stay active, man, because growing up, you know, I was always like avoided things that were hard and they were difficult. If it was challenging, I was like, no, I'm not doing that shit. And like, you know, and just one day I was like, no, I'm going to try to do everything because life's getting too short. And I started like, you know, I don't want to be a loser, you know. I want to look back and be like, hey, man, I was able to accomplish this and that and this and that. Like, have my kids look at me like, that's my dad right there. Like, he does all shit. He does everything.
Right, that's badass.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
So, you tell me you got. So how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. I have an 11 and a 9-year-old.
Okay. I'm a lot busier up here in Iowa. I got 4.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having more than my 2. Like, sometimes like my daughter's like six people for me. Like, she's.
Oh hell yeah! I got 2 girls, dude. It is like that. It's like, oh my god. Like, boys are way simpler. Yeah, the emotions.
Yeah.
They'll literally swing on you. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Like, my son's pretty chill, man. He's like, just give him his video game, his Xbox. It's cool.
Right.
But my daughter requires a lot, and like she's something else.
I like it. So I wanted to. You have to have at least one, if not multiple, especially throughout your whole career and your life experiences here. Give me one fucked up story. One where you seen where you were looking at somebody and what?
Like a construction story?
Yeah, like anything. Like, you seen something and you're like, damn, dude, you should have been here. This dude over here, something like that. You have to have something, right?
Oh yeah, I was a different person. Like, before I started like my city job, and like, you know, I was just like a different person, a different crowd back then, and like. I was trying to think of something I can say that's not gonna like get me in trouble too much.
All you got to do is leave names out, right?
Oh,
right, we don't care about the swearing or anything like that. Give all the details you want. Just if it makes you more comfortable or anything, just leave the names out.
I can show you a picture. Like, I have like I guess I'll let you guys know. I have a mugshot out there that nobody even knows about. not many people know about it, but it was 2008. We were leaving the club, and my cousin was like talking trash to these people, and they followed us to the freeway, and
Jeez.
right there by downtown, and like my cousin like flipped over, and we fell off of the freeway, like 14 feet, and landed on the roof of his Tahoe, like upside down.
What the
Holy
fuck?
shit.
Hell yeah.
And I can send y'all pictures like of the Tahoe, and like dude, like we all walked away with just like some scratches. Luckily, like I had like some cuts and stuff, and because we were drinking, and oh man, we got in such big trouble. I was like, took us to jail, because we're drinking, and yeah, dude, I was awful. My mom, I felt so bad. I never forget my mom's face when she saw me.
Oh, yeah. I'm
She's
sure.
like, damn, Daniel. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. Laying here, like, kind of hurt, but
I'm a little banged up, Ma.
yeah. She's like, don't be a smart. She's like, don't be a smart ass.
Yeah.
All right, damn.
man.
You said 14 feet.
14 feet. Like,
Damn.
and that rail was broken for years. I'd always pass by and like see it, and like,
Just remind
yeah, I got the
yourself,
picture.
right?
Yeah, it was May 4th, 2008. Like, I never forget the date, and I see the pictures all the time, and like just
Damn.
thankful to be alive. Like, we walked away with like some bumps and bruises compared to what could have happened.
No doubt.
Wow.
Damn.
That is
So it was
crazy.
eye-opening. It was definitely eye-opening, man. Like, man, life's short, man. Like, you can get taken away from you really quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Over just a little bit of a party night, right?
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to just go out and have fun. Like, nobody goes out there with the intentions of like flying off a bridge, but we weren't trying to be Evel Knievel or anything.
No, it just kind of turned into, you know.
Something crazy.
Yeah, it
Been
was
there.
It was
Been
scary,
there.
man.
I'm not
it was-
14 feet, not roll off, none of that, not quite to that, but definitely, if we believe in the good Lord there, he's looked over me a few times. I do know that.
Oh yeah, he's watching. He
Yeah.
let you fuck up sometimes.
Let's see if he
Yeah.
learns off this one.
Definitely. So going back to your jiu-jitsu practices, who's one guy you really, look to for moves? Do you follow anybody specific that you kind of pay attention to and see what they're coming out with and content and whatnot? Is there any guy that just stands out to you?
Oh yeah, like I watch a lot of John Danaher's videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that dude, he's got his positional stuff and his techniques he's kind of hard to listen to too much at once because he has like a real melatonin voice. He's just like, yes, now we're gonna do this and we're gonna precisely go here. And I'm just like, oh man. So I listen to it in chunks, like I get the move and then like I'm gonna hit fast forward a little bit. But yeah, his stuff is like so smooth, real technical, and just like, yeah, and like he's well known in the jiu-jitsu community for his technique and his mindset, the way his thought process behind everything.
Yeah.
And he's got like some good people in his stable too. Like some guys who won a lot of like big tournaments, and so something's he's got something there. So I try to pick up some moves from him too.
Oh yeah, definitely is a good one to pick up.
Do you have any currently right now going in your gym? Do you have any competing? Heading into any fights here coming up soon or anything planned like that?
I have some students competing on the 26th at New Breed in Dallas, but a lot of my guys once they got their purple belts, they kind of like hung up competing a little bit.
Okay.
So a lot of them like got busy with life, and so right now we're like in a regrowing phase. Like I got some new people coming in, so I got a new crop I'm working on. So hopefully, in the 6 months we'll be back out there again, full force.
Do you welcome like travel throughs? Is that the way I want to put it? Guys coming in,
yeah.
like they just popping in. Maybe a guy from here in Iowa, he's down in the Texas area, and he just stops into your gym. You welcome one of those for like a day or so or whatever.
Definitely, I don't have like a mat fee. If they guys want to stop in and come in, they're more than welcome. Just sign the waiver to go. I don't keep no like nobody's not welcome. I'll put it like that. Like everybody's welcome to come in and get some rounds in.
Absolutely.
As long as they're respectful, man. Like I have no problem with anybody.
Absolutely.
So another thing, real quick before I think we're done here. What's your football team? Professional football team.
You know the Dallas Cowboys.
See, I knew that. I knew that. I just had to let you say it for these fellows up here.
Hey, it's gonna be our year, man.
It's gonna be our year, always our year.
Hey, it's all
Every
right.
year is our year.
I think deep down inside, I can kind of hear it in his voice that he wants to become a Vikings fan.
What?
Oh,
Get out of
yeah.
here.
Negative.
Negative.
Not happening. Definitely not.
Probably pulling for them Longhorns too, right? For the NCAA tournament about to start up here soon.
I don't keep up with basketball too much, or like I really only keep up with like football and baseball.
Okay. Well, you see with the so are you a Rangers guy then?
I was like I haven't watched them too much in the last couple of years. Like my gym has been keeping me so busy. Like it's hard to keep up with too many sports and like
No,
football. I
absolutely.
definitely keep up more with football because we're doing fantasy football, and so like
Oh yeah.
I have money on the line, so
Right. You gotta keep track of that money
Right.
for sure.
Absolutely.
So real quick before we let you go, you want to shout out your class hours for everybody listening in case they listen and want to drop in.
Oh yeah, so we have kids classes Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5:30 for the 4 to 5 year olds, and 6 o'clock for the little bit older kids, and the adults are at 7. So we have classes all week. Tuesday and Thursday, my 7 o'clock fundamentals class. If you've never tried a class, it'd be the best time to experience it. It's like really slow down. We really work on all the moves because there's a lot to learn. So like this is a perfect environment to come learn. We don't do any rounds. It's just like a lot of technique and drilling and positional moves. It's real controlled. I don't let the guys do rounds. I don't want anybody to kind of get hurt. So it's really controlled. I have a lot of women in there right now that the first timers. They tried the class before, but it was just too much because sometimes it's like it can be overwhelming having somebody attack you and like you have like no idea what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how about obviously the name of your gym again and your address too?
So it's Goliath Jiu Jitsu. We're in Haltom City, and it's 1655 Hickory Drive. We're behind the ADT building. If you have an iPhone, just pull like Goliath. It'll take you right to our front door.
Okay.
Awesome.
Boom.
I'm already this first time obviously I talked to you, but I'm already a fan. So everything you've inspired to, everything that you've kind of led your life up to this point, not to mention all the other stuff that you're going to continue to do. Just amazing. And hopefully you continue to move forward and keep taking life down one step at a time here.
Absolutely.
And
We appreciate you being on here, Daniel.
And I appreciate you guys having me on and let me just talk a little bit. I like to talk, so it was like when Chris approached me, I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I love talking." Like,
Hey, we need
and like,
we need to get you on again here sometime. If that doesn't bug you, I know by the sound of that chuckle earlier, I know you have more than one story too, which we appreciate those.
I got some stories. Yeah, just whenever you guys need me on, like, I'm always available.
Absolutely, we appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you, Daniel. And that should be it for us. So we'll catch you later, and you have a good night.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Have
All
a
right.
good one.
Thank
All
you.
right. See ya. So, yeah, that was Mr. Daniel Roy coming in from Haltom City. Make sure to check his gym out, Haltom City, Texas. He's got some good stuff for you to learn. So,
Man, that shit's nuts. Marathon running, powerlifting, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Fucking.
While also fighting off your inner fat kid
Yeah.
of eating. So,
It's impressive.
yeah, just an amazing guy though. Like down to the core. Love to meet that guy sometime. I
100%.
plan on being down in Texas in August, so I might have to swing by there, at least meet him bare minimum. Maybe you can throw my fat ass around the gym a little bit or something.
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I know I plan on, when we go in June, hitting him up and getting a couple of rolls in for a little bit.
Maybe we'll have a flag to hang up in there for him.
Hey.
Just saying.
Boom.
Just saying. But we ready for the news?
I think we have some big shit to talk about right now.
Something just came across, like just when we were hitting the phone interview. Tom Brady has officially unretired.
Boom.
He on his Twitter account, and he's going back to the Bucks. Surprised?
No.
Like this.
Not that surprising.
Is this?
I just wonder what changed his mind.
So what I'm exactly, because it was about life. The reason why he left, right? So I don't know. Maybe Giselle's like, hey, I need another 20 mil quick. Interesting thing about this is I heard on from I do believe it was Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk. He had done a couple interviews about this and said that he believes he is coming back. This is before this happened. But he is stating that he will be the Niners quarterback.
See, that's what I heard too.
So I wonder if this is the move. He comes back to the Bucks and then he says, I need you to trade me. So yeah, right now it's saying back to the Bucks. But it's like, you've done everything for this franchise. I brought you a Super Bowl like we intended when I signed on the dotted line. Maybe you guys get something in return. Maybe Jimmy G in a trade comes over there.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, it's just shocking.
It's fucking, yeah, it is insane. I just saw the other day the Niners was out.
Or did he see that how bad the NFC South is? Like, hold on, brother. I can make another run here. Like, all I need to do is, you don't have to be, I'm going to tell you now, you do not have to be the prettiest girl at the dance. You just need an invite to a prom queen. Yeah, invite to the dance. And obviously when you have a weak division like that and everyone's in scrambles and not knowing what they're doing,
yeah,
maybe he did see that. Maybe he's going to stay with the Bucks. Don't know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he also talked about, I'll play when my body tells me I'm done, and, he didn't show any signs of regression. So why not? Why not?
Yeah, there's going to be more to come on this. There has to be.
I feel there's more. I don't think we're done.
Yeah.
Number one. But number two, it's 2022. When does he retire? 2030? Like, and stay away?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm curious sure what happened. What actually? Yeah. So I'd like to know what happened where he decided he wanted to come back off that. So
yeah,
because he sounded like he was at peace with the decision and it was for family and all that. So
right.
All right. We'll get into the others. So it is Selection Sunday.
Back up. Before you go Selection Sunday, there was a big game that we need to make sure we talk about.
Oh, we will be.
Two games.
I'm just worried about one of them.
Right. Oh. So our Iowa Hawkeyes are Big Ten tournament champions for the first time since 2006, upsetting Purdue.
Big
and
time.
I'm not talking about upset by a last-second shot. Like, they mopped the floor with them. So that's big time. This is a team that we all, except for that one website that predicted them to have one loss.
They were right, man. They were predicting.
They were a lot closer than we were. A lot closer than I was. It's like, dude, middle of the pack at best. You don't lose Luka Garza, and then evidently nobody's seen the growth of Keegan Murray coming and turning into. If he doesn't win National Player of the Year, fine. But the growth from what he was a no-star recruit, ladies and gentlemen, him and his brother. And to even have the conversation, then you lead the Hawkeyes to a Big Ten tourney championship. Yeah, I don't think that's going to get enough credit as much as what it should.
Yeah.
When they were supposed to have such a abysmal year up to 500 at best.
Yeah, they got the old Big Ten wrong. They were predicting it, and it's totally flip-flopped, it seems like.
Because weren't you saying Wisconsin was supposed to be near the middle also?
Yeah. So everything, it just seemed like flip-flopped. But good for Iowa. For sure.
That's big time. So
what's the other game you were thinking of? I was just thinking. Girls. Oh, the girls. So that's the other thing, too, right? Men and women's Big Ten champs in basketball.
Basketball for Iowa. And then for their tournament. We have to toss Chris a bone here because his lady Longhorns also wrapped up their Big 12 tourney.
You know it? Yep.
There we go.
So, no, I was excited. That was big time. Maybe it's a different year. I'm not trying to get my hopes up because it's still unbelievable what they've done up to this point. So, hopefully they're not putting them too far up on the pedestal.
Getting hot at the right time, though.
Yeah, it is. I talked about the Longhorns. I have a guy, an old boss of mine, that always likes to hit me up whenever Longhorns lose. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, we started off hot beginning of the year. We cooled off, got hot again, and then cooled off again. It's like it's not the time of year. to be cooling off
Yeah.
right now.
No.
Bad time of the year. So
Will Wade has been fired as a LSU men's basketball coach after accusations of 5 Level 1 NCAA violations. The firing means that Wade, who was in his 5th season at LSU, will not coach in the upcoming NCAA tournament. This has happened twice. I didn't jot this down, but it's happened twice with him. Another time where he had them locked up for going to the tournament, and he didn't coach in that one either.
surprised it didn't boot the team out. There's usually sanctions do that, right?
Usually, but
Or at least keeps them out of postseason play.
they're probably thinking, because they have a pretty decent team this year. They're probably thinking next year they'll self-impose themselves or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he is 108-54 at LSU. He previously coached at VCU to a pair of NCAA tournament appearances and had a strong 2-year stint at Chattanooga before that. There are 8 Level 1 violation allegations in LSU's notice. 7 are alleged to be tied to the men's basketball program. One of those pertains specifically to football, and the 2 sports are an allegation that the institution failed to exercise institutional control and monitor the conduct and administration of its football and men's basketball programs. There are 2 Level 2 allegations, 1 football, 1 basketball, and 1 Level 3. LSU just seems like they can't get away from this stuff. You know, we're talking about both sports, football and basketball. Seems like they've always got something going on.
Yeah.
What, they let go of their coach this year, right? Because he was bringing his girlfriends to practices or whatever, right? So, what the fuck? Like, what is going on down there?
Something in the bayou, baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Something in the bay.
now you don't have to. Now they got Brian Kelly, right?
Yeah.
We can have some of that southern accent. Dude, I still get
Hell
goosebumps listening to him.
Have him dancing
Dude,
with
his
that
dance.
recruit.
Like, that alone right there would deter me from signing with him. Like, dude, you creepy old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Some dad moves. Hunter Couture scored a career-high 31 points, and the 7th-seeded Hokies won the ACC tournament for the first time, beating Duke 82-67 to deny Coach K a league title in his final season and receive the automatic qualifier for the conference. Virginia Tech, who's 23-12, went to Brooklyn in need of a run to make the NCAA tournament. They were a bubble team before it started.
Good for them. I mean, Coach K, didn't go as good as it could have been, right? He lost his last home game, then loses out on the title. But ultimately, what he's after is in March here, coming up in the big dance. So, I mean, it sucks, but hopefully they can make a deep postseason run for him.
Yeah,
We'll see.
unless he runs into the Hawkeyes.
That's right. That's right, baby.
Or the Cyclones, as long as the Cyclones and Hawkeyes don't play each other.
I don't know if the Cyclones will get in.
They're in.
Are they? Okay.
Yes, yeah. They're the 11th seed.
Okay.
So I do believe they're in the same bracket as Iowa, too. So they could actually
Ooh.
meet each other.
I doubt they play. They're so up and down.
5. So Iowa ended up as a 5 seed. Iowa State ended up as an 11, I do believe. Unless I looked at it wrong. Like, what I was trying to look at, it was like in a weird, on my phone. Like, it was hard to. But LeBron James scored 50 points for the second time in his past 3 games and lifting the Lakers to a much-needed 122-109 win over the Wizards on Friday. The Lakers are 2-0 since the All-Star break when James goes for 50-plus points. They are 0-6 in the rest of their games and are still the number 9 seed in the Western Conference at 29-37. Dude needs to drop 50 to win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not going to be able to happen every game, man.
No.
No.
It's not great for them right now.
Heat forward Markieff Morris had 6 points and 4 rebounds in 17 minutes off the bench in his first game for Miami in more than 4 months on Saturday night. Morris was declared fit to play prior to the Heat's 113-104 loss to the T-Wolves, following a 4-month absence because of a whiplash injury. Morris was injured in a November 8th scuffle with Denver's Nikola Jokic. He missed 58 games. I know you guys remember this. I did not realize that he had been out this whole time, though.
Yeah, I didn't. God, that's a long time.
That's a long time for a whiplash.
Yeah.
That's what, see, sorry, Marcus,
sure.
but this is what, you don't want any part of fucking with Or are they Serbian? Is that what they are?
Something
Jokic
like that
brothers?
over there.
Yeah. Missed 58 games just from whiplash. Imagine if he actually threw his fists at you.
Yeah.
Or his brothers, who look way meaner.
Yeah, no
Right.
kidding.
We'll go to another long time injured player. Bulls guard Alex Caruso had 11 points and 4 steals Saturday night in the team's 101-91 win over the Cavaliers. His first game back since breaking his left wrist January 21st. This is the same injury that came from Grayson Allen and led to missing 22 games.
Yeah, I remember talking about that. Good for him. Be back, and the Bulls are looking exciting, right? And up until kind of the injury bug bit them. So hopefully they'll get back on track here.
Yeah. Zach LaVine missed this game too with a knee swellness. So the trainers are saying that there's nothing that he can do right now. It is like a pain and hit and go type of thing. He should be able to play the season, but this one swelled up on him. Coach did say for the Bulls that they were all ridiculously cheering for Caruso, and their defensive game has cranked up between him and Lonzo being back on the court in their backcourt. I mean, obviously holding the Cavs to 91 points.
Well, one thing that the Bulls are a good team. They're a really good team this
Yep.
year. But one thing that hurts the Cavs is that I can't think of his name.
Garland?
For the Cavs, he's hurt. So he got hurt a week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I don't know how long he's going to be out. But he's that the dude that has the afro. That plays
Jarrett Allen?
with the Cavs.
Jarrett Allen, yeah.
Jarrett. Okay. Yeah. So he's hurt, and that's definitely gonna obviously sting a little bit, but which is a little disappointing because I was hoping they could make some kind of run and fuck some teams up. But
Yeah.
what do you do?
Still could be entertaining, regardless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Klay Thompson breaks out of his shooting slump with a season-high 38 and a Warriors win over the Bucks. This was Thornton's best game in over 2 years, putting up a season-high 38 points on 15 of 24 shooting, including 8 three-pointers,
Wow.
6 rebounds, and 5 assists. It's a lot of threes right there.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why he's the best on that team at three-point shooting.
Man.
Maybe not. He's a technical shooter. Let's put it that way. Not the from half court pulling up. Curry.
He was not yelling that when he threw him up.
Guarantee he was. Maybe he was saying, "Hey Curry, like what's up?" I like mid flight with the ball. But either way, Curry. The word Curry was coming out. Naomi Osaka addresses the crowd after fan heckles her during loss at Indian Wells. She got pretty emotional. This isn't her first time getting heckled, but she was ahead at the time in her match, and she said she couldn't get it out of her mind, and then got obliterated.
I think she needs to do a little bit better job of trying to shut. It seems like she lets too much emotions come from the crowd and get to her.
Yeah.
And to be a successful pro athlete, no matter where you are, you've got to be able to shut that off. The crowd noise, the impact from people, not on the field or the court or whatever you're doing.
Yep.
And it doesn't seem like she's been able to do that very well. So that's holding her back, I think.
Any and every sport has it, right?
Every sport, yeah.
Literally, even down to even high school. We were talking about that with Malachi when he was on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd hear plenty of stuff too. That's just what it is.
Yep.
You gotta learn to tune that shit out.
Yeah.
Because there's always gonna be some nasty people, either out of hatred or whether they're just pure fandom of their team and they want to see you lose. Of course, they're gonna do. You were showing, and I mean this with all due respect, but you're showing that you're pretty weak-minded. It doesn't take much to rattle your cage. Like you gotta just be able to tune that out.
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad, man. I mean, people are going to cheer loud as shit for you sometimes, or you're going to get booed, you're going to get heckled, and things like that. You got to take both ends. If you can't do that, you're not going to be as successful as you could be,
Yep. The Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, scores 53 points and win over the Knicks and tells New York City mayor to figure out vaccine policy.
Yeah, we chatted a little bit about this before we went live on air. Kyrie Irving can't be on the court because of the vaccine mandates in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
Where was this motherfucker sitting at the game?
It looked like he was courtside to me, Chris.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Right behind the bench.
Okay.
Just a cheering on.
Okay.
It makes sense if you don't think about it, fellas.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Was there something else
perfect.
too with that? With him standing back there?
Oh, he didn't have a mask on.
Oh, just like the rest of the people
Just
right there?
like the rest of it. Everyone else.
But he can't be on the court.
Right.
There's definitely a cheat makes sense if you don't think about it.
So I think this is a smart play on his part. I think this is the first ticket, at least that I know about, that he's bought to go support his team, right? I think, and the cameras are going to be on him, I think it's to kind of show how stupid, like we're all acknowledging right now how stupid this shit is.
Yeah.
He could be there cheering for the team, situation you just said, but he can't be out there with the team playing. It doesn't make any sense. So I think there's a little bit to play into this to be like, this is how stupid it is, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Time to move on, baby. The Panthers will make an aggressive offer for Deshaun Watson as soon as the Houston quarterback waives his no-trade clause for them to negotiate with the Texans. The Panthers attempted to trade for Watson early last offseason before reports surfaced of 22 lawsuits and 10 criminal complaints of sexual misconduct against the three-time Pro Bowl selection. Carolina backed off after that. But by the sounds of it, they're going to go balls deep.
They're back in. Sounds like there's only 2 teams in right now for him.
Minnesota.
It was not Minnesota. I did look because I was like, oh, I wonder if Minnesota's actually, because you talked about the Kurt thing. So I was like, oh, okay. I can't remember who the other one was, but I wonder if CMC is going to be part of that package.
Would he have to? He would almost have to be if it's the Panthers, right?
Yep.
Like, because they have to shed some. They would have to shed some contract, which they just paid
Right.
CMC.
Plus, you would think you wouldn't have to throw another draft pick in there if you throw him that way. So, yeah.
It helps shed it, and like you said, the draft pick. The interesting part is still, we'll see. Not trying to get Danny G's hopes up here, but rumors are becoming very heavy. I don't know if this is like to try to lighten what the Vikings are asking for, but the Colts are heavily interested in Marcus Mariota and Kirk Cousins. That's what the reports are. Now, if that happens, that's where I'm interested to see if the Vikings become a hell of a lot more players in this conversation. I'm curious to see what the Panthers pay up for this. Because it said the word aggressive was like bold, like in what they're going to be offering. Because obviously they almost have to, because look what they turned down, right? Didn't they turn down a massive one from the Dolphins?
Yeah.
So this has got to be, it's going to make the Russell Wilson one look pretty chump change.
Yeah, I think kind of seems like Watson will just go wherever at this point so he can play. Probably doesn't matter. Carolina is not, I don't think it'd end up being the best spot for him because they're just not that great of a team. The good thing is that division is terrible. But then bad news, that TB12 is coming back. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So far. We're still, I think we're at least half on board with. We'll see if he actually suits up for the Buccaneers. Deshaun, now that the criminal part of it, I'm not saying there still be. So the one thing I did understand, and then I started doing a little bit of research on, I'm full on board that he's not going to get anything more than, he's not even going to touch the 10-game side of the suspension. I think it's going to be 8 or less, and that's without him appealing. Because the criminal charges being dropped and not having enough there will also help bring the number of lawsuits down because, like we were talking about, I'm sure some piled on, right? And I think the NFL, of course, because they can do what they want and they will do what they want because it's also what's the word I'm looking for? Jesus.
Conduct detrimental
to the league. There you go. There will be a suspension, but I'm actually getting more and more towards it's going to be maybe 6 games. That's where I'm actually placing it at. If we're going to throw something out there, I think it's going to be 6 games, and with that, there's going to be even more teams at some point. There's 2 right now. We don't know what the other one was. You couldn't remember, but obviously Panthers. This dude is going to be with another team. This isn't going down to the last. This isn't going where they're not going to trade him this time, right?
Yeah. I I don't think he should be suspended any more than like 6 games, especially no criminal charges. You're going to settle this shit, take care of it, whatever. But it will be a very bad look for the NFL if he's only suspended like that many games, considering what just happened.
To Calvin Ridley.
Right? Yeah. So it's like...
Well, maybe they'll stick to it then. Maybe they'll say a year before they appeal. Maybe they will throw a year out if you want to go with that because of the Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm just like, man, it'd be such a bad look.
It's so weird that gambling is like the most black eye thing you can do in sports, right? If you think about it, all the way through sports, we're talking about baseball, football, basketball, anytime, anything. That is the one. Is like you could whoop your woman, you could beat your child, you could drugs, alcohol, all the way up the charts. But the one where everyone's like, for the love of God, he was gambling on teams. Or because, I mean, if you guys remember the Donahue one.
You did see the Vikings re-sign Kirk Cousins?
Did they?
They added a year, $35 million.
Yeah, that's to get the cap number down,
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I bet you that still doesn't mean that he can't be traded, though.
Yeah, I just seen.
Yeah, I didn't know that, though.
Yeah, and the other
course they
teams
would.
was the Saints and the Seahawks they had.
Potentially
for
Kirk?
Deshaun. No,
Or for
Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Yeah.
The Saints would be tough, right?
I don't think they would be able to capitalize.
Yeah.
They'd
They'd
have
have
to do
to
a
trade
lot.
pieces
They'd have to
with
do a
it.
lot of
Lots.
moving.
Yeah, they'd have to move a lot of those players,
And
too.
most of those pieces would have to be from the defense, right? There's a few
Some
guys
big
on
time.
that defense that are getting
Yeah,
paid.
some big time pieces. So
Yeah, especially the defense side. That's interesting. Well, it just means we're going to get stuck with mediocrity then. I think that's more of a cap thing, but that doesn't mean that they're still
yeah,
not
it
going
gained
to roll
you
with
10
him.
million cap.
Yeah. But that extends him out, you said. So, and that's what they did a couple years ago, too.
Yep.
What a lot of people didn't realize a couple years ago when they did that, the reason why they did it was, yes, obviously cap relief, but they actually did it because a lot of people had noticed that they took the no trade clause out of there. They were able to get that off the contract at that time. Don't know if that's what this move is. Like maybe Irsay or their GM with the Colts are like, hey, we need to get that cap hit down before we make this deal. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that's going to happen.
There's so much to do. Like I was having this conversation, right? Let's off branch for a second. I was having this conversation with somebody at work, and I actually got asked a question and made me actually think. And I'm like, they're like, well, are you closer? Are the Vikings closer to being a high-end draft pick or closer to winning the Super Bowl? Let that absorb for a second. Do you really think
you're nowhere? You're where the Cowboys were the past several years, or in Romo's years, the last several years, where they were in that 8-8 midway, and we would never be high enough till we got Zeke. Right, we had that real bad year, but we'd never be high enough to get just a beast. Right, one of them top 8 picks. You know, that's going to boom immediately turn your franchise around.
Yep.
I think y'all are there. You have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Your defensive pieces got old, and now it's kind of a young defense, and very old. And
yeah, there's not much tweener.
yeah,
No.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're
It's
very
either
young, or they're on the long end of the tooth. Yep.
And I think that's what's hurting you. Especially we talk about Kerr. If it's not going to game plan, he's not going to adapt,
Yeah.
right? And so that's I think y'all are good enough to beat most of those teams, you know, in the middle of the pack. So that's
Yeah,
why
so
I
they'll
think
be
you're
hanging
at.
right there.
I think you're just kind of right in the middle.
Too
Right,
much
so-
in the middle.
So if you have
know?
exactly, so that means you're not that close to winning a Super Bowl because there's very few teams that are legitimately in the sauce or in the mix to actually win the Super Bowl. That means they're closer to being. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's almost at the tear down phase.
Right. And it doesn't help that the Bears are just going to be god awful for a while, and Detroit, of course, we know.
But that will also give the Vikings like false hope.
Right. Then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they'll like sit there and try. Oh, all we have to do is compete with the Viking
Yeah.
or with the Packers.
Packers. Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so that doesn't help you any.
Not if they just let Kirk go, sell him for peanuts.
It's early. There's a lot of things that got to shake out, man.
Hey, you never know. We might get some defensive studs.
Tampa needs a quarterback if Tom doesn't want to be there, so maybe Tommy Boy comes up to Minnesota.
Don't flirt with my emotions right now. Don't do that. Super Bowl run. Let's go.
No, I actually think it'd be scary as fuck if he went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
That would.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It'd be so good.
Why? Jimmy G.
We're talking about the GOAT. We're
Hold
not
on.
talking
Hold on,
about
you said Jimmy G.
Carson Wentz, okay?
What?
It's the GOAT.
I thought you said Jimmy G's.
I didn't
Like,
say he was the GOAT,
The GOAT.
right?
Yeah, it is the difference. He probably did look at that. I seen a post the other day, right, that showed like, the NFL's in good hands, and it showed like a list of young ass quarterbacks, and then all the guys that have retired in the last 4 years probably, and Tom Brady was one of those last ones. He's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. He's like, what did I do?
The Dallas Cowboys agreed to trade wide receiver Amari Cooper and a 6th-round pick to the Cleveland Browns for a 2022 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. The deal is pending a physical and should be finalized by the middle of next week.
Yeah, so some insider on that. Apparently they were trying to keep it under wraps that they were letting him go because obviously trade value plummeted out the bottom, right? It slipped out, plummeted out the bottom. So then, yeah, you aren't going to give it much for that for a 27-year-old. Really good in his prime route runner. Yeah, it sucks. That's all you could get. But I think that's what happens as soon as the news comes out. They're going to, either potentially have to cut somebody, or you're maybe going to look to trade it. I think that immediately just drops the bottom out of your trade value.
Yeah, Dallas can't keep their mouth shut, man.
Like they have
We
too
knew
many
that
leaks.
shit immediately.
They have too many leaks.
Yeah.
And their own owner can't keep his mouth shut anyway. I'm not saying he leaked this or anything or whatever, but he's already showing throughout the rest of his organization it's okay because he can't keep his mouth shut.
Right.
Yeah. So you cut one of the top 10 wide receiver in the league to overpay on Zeke.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right?
18 mil cap hit. I mean, you should have went to Zeke and said, hey, man, take a pay cut because you're taking half the reps now. You do a great job pass protection. You get the grind in yards.
But that isn't worth like top 3 running back.
Exactly.
Money,
it's a passing league these days. It's almost you almost never have just a bell cow anymore.
No,
More teams are going to 2 and 3 running backs.
Especially in his because he's not the same even when he was getting some bell cowish type of numbers. Like there was a few games that we were looking at, that he still had like 20-something carries and it translated to nothing. Yeah. Or if it did for fantasy, he get the 1 yard touchdown, but it was like he would have like 60, 70 yards off of 20-some odd carries and Pollard touches it 6 times and he goes for 80-something yards,
I think they bought into that O-line so much. Like all the years he's tearing it up, the O-line was amazing, right?
Yes.
But now it's so old. Our left guard was trash. Our center was not playing well. Our right tackle, Lil Collins, was suspended. We were playing the guy off the street who was balling out, but still he was a young guy. Left tackle, Tyrone Smith, so we were playing that tie.
So you're saying, whatever. so we rewind a little bit. You are saying, I think you're saying, and I agree with you, you are saying that you would have rather kept Amari Cooper than Ezekiel Elliott, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I would have cut Zeke.
Absolutely.
Or asked him to take a pay cut.
Yep.
And then cut Zeke.
I'd much rather have the weapons because we've seen what happened with Dak. Dak is a phenomenal quarterback. But just like most unless you're the top 3 guys that make shit happen, Dak needs weapons. When he lost all of his weapons, he was not the same, right? And you have a stable of 3 wide receivers, possibly even 4, because you had some guys come on.
Yeah, Cedric Wilson was
a
baller.
That was a big time. But you had a stable weapons for this cat, and running back was not your weak point. I mean, you could have picked up another guy or something like that. I think they're letting the wrong guy go. Amari showed that he could, I don't know.
Tagging the tight end, too, I don't like that as well.
Yeah.
How many double teams did bracket coverages did CD or Amari take for the tight end to have him open?
Right.
So to put a $10 million tag on him is just...
makes no sense to me because you can pick up that style of tight end anywhere. You can pick them up literally off of practice squads.
You can pick
all
up
over.
a serviceable tight end.
A serviceable tight end, or you can pick him up, and even in this draft, there's tight ends aren't exactly at a premium, but most of them are about what Dalton Schultz can do.
Yeah, right. I think so too. And
right?
Yep.
It's Cowboys. They're gonna do that thing, and like I said, Jerry's got to get his nose out of the whole deal. I think for the Cowboys to be successful.
He might be a little preoccupied.
I
heard he's a little busy nowadays. Maybe fighting off some suits here.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be a little too occupied. Stephen Jones will be like, hey, you go take care of the bastard child. I'll take care of the the $1 billion franchise here.
Well, hey, bad news for the Cowboys. Great news for the Browns, though. They needed that. They had to have that.
Well, if you're going to roll with it, okay, I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
We've seen this.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham. What were wrong with those two guys? Absolutely nothing. Baker couldn't hit him.
I don't disagree. Baker's a quarterback.
I think it's
yeah.
But how much worse is it if you don't have that
sure,
attention?
you look like it's a
going
good
out to
trade,
one of
but
those guys.
Amari Cooper's going, what the
Yeah. No, you're right. We're not disagreeing with what you're saying. What we're saying is, Browns, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is a great trade, and you got him for like minimal to nothing, right?
Nothing.
Yes,
For
great trade on
great
the
trade.
aspect of them.
But you still have Baker Mayfield throwing him the rock.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
not
problem.
unless maybe there's some shit that we don't know. Maybe there's some guys they're talking to like, hey, my guess is my prediction's still out there. It doesn't mean the Browns still can't come in and grab Kirk, which would be amazing for Amari. Baker Mayfield is still Baker Mayfield at the end of the day, and he could have hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, I think the Browns should be one of the teams that are after somebody like Mariota, right? Kirk, obviously, but even somebody like Mariota is
Kirk may be at a little other price range. I know they have a lot of money in cap space, so they could, but I don't know if they want to spend it. They're being kind of frugal with it, right?
Yeah.
Even a Jimmy G, a guy you hand the rock to the two guys in the backfield, and then you have Amari Cooper, not quite the burner, but a phenomenal route runner, so he'll be open.
Yeah, he's still quick. He's not.
David Njoku is going to be there if you can bring Jarvis back.
He probably was like a Deebo Samuel-esque at one point. I mean, he wasn't a running back style, but he kind of was like a Deebo Samuel-esque as in Amari Cooper at one point.
At one point, yeah.
At one point, and he's lost maybe a little step, but he's still kind of that guy. So even a Jimmy G could work there. At least they'd be short. That's still an upgrade. I'll give you that one. You want that one?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, that is definitely an upgrade over that one by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, God, I'm sorry for. I feel sorry for Amari because I don't think he has a quarterback to get him the ball.
Yes.
So, we'll see. We'll get hit with our NFL quick hitters. Cowboys grant right tackle La'el Collins permission to seek a trade with the Cowboys believing Terrence Steele is their right tackle of the present and future.
He played well. Now, I don't know why you'd get rid of La'el Collins.
Injury problems, they said.
I do get the injury. So he missed the entire season. Then he comes back. He missed 5 games, doing whatever he's doing. He's had some injury problems, but I think he only counts $10 million against the cap.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what
Our
it was.
left guard was dog shit. He's going to get cut. He played left guard in college.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just scoot him inside?
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
That isn't too expensive of a guard either.
Unless they're thinking they could get a massive trade haul for him, which maybe. Maybe the Bengals will overpay. They need some help on the line.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
So if we can get something amazing.
I love exactly what you're saying right there. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Because La'el Collins is not an old man either.
Right.
Why wouldn't you go grab them if the Cincinnati Bengals? Because in my mock drafts, which I will place that up on our next one.
Let's do Wednesday because we'll have the football player on.
Okay, so we'll throw it on then. But my last two, which a little sneak peek to 2.0 is that they're still grabbing. They're reaching for an offensive lineman of some kind at number 31 because they have to. Like you can't justify, right? Like that's the reason why we believe that they're going to take an offensive lineman, not whether they're going to move up or whatever, but they're going to take one. Why wouldn't you go all in on any shot you can get right there? I would even trade my first rounder for him because he's young enough to keep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah,
and he's a stud when he's out there, right?
Yep.
So you have a foundational piece, and it's going to be better than any piece available at 31. And you can't take any piece other than offensive lineman at that position and sit there and say that you're protecting your future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's it. I love that. That's what I'm getting off of. I love this. You may end up with a first rounder for that. You should. I would. If I were Cincinnati, I would. I would take that right there. So. Atlanta Falcons restructure Matt Ryan's contract, lowering the salary cap hit down to $36.6 million from $48.6, which was a record, by the way.
Yeah. They're still going to be bad.
Yeah. They're still going to be bad. It's just funny you say lowering the cap hit to that. Jesus, man.
They saved $12 million.
Oh, chump change, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to spend.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like,
there's too much to do, right? Like, what do you?
Yeah.
You might as well have just left it in the way it is, because now you just threw that money down the road. You kicked the can down the road.
pretty much that's all you did.
Right. Like, I understand you want to keep your guy. That's the reason why another one for my mock draft, like I had my first one, was them taking a receiver. They're going to, because their owner never believes they're not competitive, which I like that as an owner, you know. But they're going to go grab a piece for this guy, and this shows that even more, right?
Yep.
The Giants linebacker Blake Martinez to return on a restructured contract that will save them almost $6 million in cap space. He was banged up last year. I think something leg, some sort, knee, ankle, something like that. But retired quarterback, now unretired, Tom Brady's final touchdown ball goes for $518K at auction, and it may not be the last one.
Now it's not the last
so
one.
I was going to say, with that, before this breaking news earlier, right? It's like, that's a steal. $518K.
Yeah. If you're that person, you keep that till he goes in the Hall of Fame.
How pissed off are you right now? Do you hang on a rope right now? If he actually now that he came back,
No, you love it.
that
You
is,
sold it and it's not his last one.
no.
No, if you're the guy that bought
If
it.
you got that guy,
Oh
that
yeah,
bought
you
it.
bought it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it was, I thought it was a steal at $518K buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, buying it, and then now come to find out, I'm like, hold on, it might not even be his last touchdown pass, motherfucker.
Yep.
That sucks.
God, that
Glad it
hurts.
wasn't me.
Yeah, damn. Patrick Mahomes and his longtime girlfriend, Brittany Matthews, have tied the knot. He did not run the opposite way like he should have.
Damn.
The
Congrats.
Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, congrats. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback married Matthews in Hawaii on Saturday. Mahomes and Matthews have been dating since they met as students at White House, Texas High School.
Good for them.
They better be in love. Or him.
They have to be, right?
Man,
You think so?
She's got to do something nasty in the bedroom because she's crazy.
She's definitely
Right?
bad
She's
shit.
definitely crazy.
She's crazy. She was mocking him on the NBA court. Remember that? He was like courtside. You seen that too, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's got to be a freak, though, in the sack. Like, maybe even bringing other chicks in. Right? Right? It's got to be.
Like, got to be something weird going
There's
on.
no way he didn't see the same video that we seen, because he might not have seen that he was getting mocked at the time, but no way that somebody didn't show him that later, and you married her. So what she does is either some real nasty stuff, or you like some real nasty stuff, and you're worried about her coming out saying what it is.
Ooh, there could be that too.
Like some pegging,
Like Deshaun Watson type.
some Deshaun Watson, or some Odell Beckham. Was it?
Oh,
Does
yeah.
he have like shit play
Yeah,
problems or something?
I don't know. God, damn.
What the fuck?
You didn't hear that?
You didn't hear about that?
Yeah,
Some girl.
like some
Yeah.
girl that he. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, some girl I guess come out and, like he wanted to pay her money to take a dump on him or something. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I
It's like
missed
what
this.
the
Yes,
hell?
this was like what, a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah,
he was
something
still in
like that.
Cleveland, obviously.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm trying to get rid of this thing. You feel how warm it is outside?
New York.
Are you doing one? Yes, you are. You don't have to go to work. I do. Ish.
Everybody's doing one. All right.
What? You can't drag me in.
Oh yeah, your cup's right up here, buddy.
Hell no.
Right there. Right there. We got to get this bottle gone. We all lost a bet somewhere. Okay.
Yeah,
How about we didn't expect Tom Brady to come back this soon?
that's true. We'll do a shot.
We'll go
for Tom
shot
Brady.
for Tom.
Shot for Tom. Yeah, you just drink. You just keep chugging out of the bottle till
Fuck
we're done.
that.
Till we put the glasses down.
Until we put him down.
Here we go. To Tom.
To Tom.
Holy cow.
Ooh.
That stuff's so bad. Go ahead, Jimmer. Yeah. Or not Jimmer.
Hey, you know what's really bad?
Danny G, take this thing.
I didn't bring something else out to drink with me. God damn it. Oh, dude.
Sucks to suck.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I know. I got fucking water. Great.
Wash it down with water.
Yeah.
I'm still, it's something. All right. So we're on to that. So either he does something freaky or she does. One of the two, right? Which one are you leaning towards?
Her.
Her?
Yeah.
Are you leaning more towards him?
No, she definitely does some weird stuff.
For him?
Either to him or for him. Lets him do some
I'm
weird
actually
stuff.
going to go the other side then, because you guys are going that route, okay? I'm going to go that he has a weird fetish that he doesn't want to come out. It's kind of in his family, as in his brother's weird and shit. His mom is asking for them to change the interception rule.
How was that? Was that good?
It's so bad. And it's warm now. It's like warmer.
Not cold at all.
Not at all.
Ugh.
Ah, dude, I can't believe people drink this. I bet you it would taste good with lemonade.
I bet you it would not.
I bet you it would not. All right. UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou is scheduled to undergo knee surgery on March 18th, according to his manager, Markel Martin. Ngannou is wrapping up a trip in his native Cameroon this week and is scheduled to return to the U.S. for the procedure next week. He suffered a torn MCL and damaged ACL in the build-up to his successful heavyweight title defense in January. It will take about 9 months for recovery.
Good. Get it fixed up. Maybe we can work something out and get a John Jones fight.
There we go. Hopefully get them by that time, 9 months. Get them both on 3 gig.
That's 9 months till recovery. Then he's got to get back into shape.
Yeah, then we talk about his recovery, too.
Yeah,
talk about his recovery at that time.
Ngannou, hit us up, bro.
Yeah, we got you.
We got
We
you.
back you.
Hell yeah.
Keeping with that a little bit, Jake Paul pitches UFC bout with Conor McGregor or Jorge Masvidal with fighter benefits on the line. This is my Marvin Miller energy, he said. Dana, since you like me now, how about a 1-fight UFC deal to fight Conor? If I win, you agree to my UFC fighter pay and healthcare proposal, which was 50% of whatever they make, basically, and healthcare on top of it. And if I lose, I donate my entire purse to all UFC fighters who make less than $50K a fight and never mention UFC again. Deal?
Dana, all he has to do is just stop paying attention to this kid.
Yeah.
He's going to make more money. They're going to make more money than him fighting one time. And
I think they make too much. I think they make too much money to not do this now. Like how much money they'd be leaving out there.
No,
they're not going to pay that though.
Pay
to
what?
The fighters. They won't pay that to the fighters.
No.
He would not leave that up to Conor at this point to win.
No.
Either.
Well, he said Jorge too. He did say or Jorge.
Right, he's not going to leave it up to either one of those guys. He would have it like so it's in the bag. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna. Not that Conor shouldn't fuck him up or Jorge shouldn't fuck him up, right? But they're not in their prime. If Dana were to do something like this, I think it would be somebody. I don't know, fucking Kazmat or something.
This is
somebody that's gonna for sure smash.
This is exactly who they would want. That's exactly who they'd want. They'd want Conor for that.
I think Conor could
His
do
knockout punch, exactly.
I think Conor could do it.
I think he should. I don't know how serious Conor takes fighting anymore.
I know, but like
You know?
that's still that. Well, he has a competitive thing going on right now with himself. I'm not trying to sell myself on Conor again because I think he has went downhill. But for that, like he get paid for one fight. He's and old boy Dana walks up to him because that's been his prize pony forever, right? The money child. You knock this motherfucker out, and I will sign whatever contract that you need to go to do a boxing match. Whatever your payday is, whatever your demand is, I will pay you that just to shut him the hell up. Conor's the one guy that can I'm talking about his knockout ability. Jorge, we talked about that. We talked about his late career surge, but he wasn't beating anyone of true importance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even you were saying that, right? Correct? So if you can get Conor in there and be like, hey, if you can't beat him, your career is completely dead, right? I'm gonna give you a bump. I'm gonna give you a massive fucking payday. I'll do whatever. If you want to sign up for a boxing match after that, I'll even sign over the rights for that. But you knock him the fuck out and you shut him up. And then it also lowers. Then also it's a no lose situation like he actually did put. He drops him, and if he sticks to his word, he hands out the money to the lower end fighters. So you're doing it for your fighters too. I say you'd roll the dice.
Yeah, he's not going to do it.
You don't think so?
No.
You've engaged so much so far. Can you really keep it quiet now?
Yeah, he won't do it.
I'm still
betting no.
Probably not with that on the line. I don't think
No.
either. I don't think so either.
And he doesn't have to. Like, there's no reason for him to do it. You know.
No, just bad publicity is.
Not really.
And it's not really. No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying like that's the only thing that he'd be like, God, if let's say that everyone started hopping on board, like, yeah, how come you won't do this? How come you won't pay us? Bad publicity that way. But that isn't going to happen, I don't think. So Jorge just signed a big contract too. So,
Yeah.
Especially his late end.
He got his bag, so he's good.
Yeah. Magomed Ankalaev defeats Thiago Santos by decision in UFC Fight Night main event. Looks like if I looked at it right, he's also a middleweight. He's in that. I think he's in that same grouping as that's Stuffed. Is that welterweight, middleweight? What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're talking about him going up to start climbing that ladder. Minnesota Twins bolster starting rotation with acquisition of Sonny Gray from the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah.
They even gave a prospect for him, which they don't usually do. The number 7 pitching prospect.
Boom.
Definitely needed it. So
Yeah, you talked about
Still,
the pitching.
you lost to infielder though.
Yeah,
like earlier.
Andrelton Simmons. Yeah, he came on late last year. He had a little rough starting, but they've needed pitching for a while. I don't know if this is that. He's not that same guy anymore, but he's definitely. They still don't have the ace.
You just gained Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, so from the Rangers, for Mitch Garvin.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you just say? You got who?
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
I don't even know who the hell that is, but I do know who Mitch Garver is. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you traded him.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Did we get anything else? Like a prospect?
No, that's it.
What?
No, actually, did y'all get a pitcher that's nobody? Yeah. So we got a big bat, and y'all got just our infield was crowded.
Get the hell out of here!
Yeah.
God damn it! Like we have a very young, good spot at catcher, but Mitch Garver is that perfect tweener. And he has power.
Yeah.
The one year that he went full bore, that he was
34 home runs
basically
last year or something.
Was it last year? There was 2 years ago, I know,
Maybe,
or a couple years ago. But he had that in last year's the COVID years off. That's a little different.
Yeah.
The year before that though is where he fucking took off, and they were missing. I can't remember exactly. They were missing their other catcher, so he started a high majority of the games this season. He put up like almost 4. It was the Bomber season. It was a season that we owned the most home runs in MLB history for a season. Yeah. And that was Mitch Garver is a huge part of that too. God damn it. Keep that shit to yourself next time.
Sorry. I figure you knew.
No, I didn't know that one. Or if I did, I didn't. I read over it. That's horseshit. And that's what I got for news. Let me get my weird state law out of the way. And that is, we're on to California, gentlemen. There's so many to choose from, but we'll go with this one. In California, it's against regulations to let phones ring more than 9 times in state offices.
Huh.
Kind of wish we had that in Iowa. You ever try to call any of those places at any point that you need, or you listen to that stupid ass elevator music for like 45 minutes?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's on hold.
That being said, I do have an interest. How much time we got right now?
We are at 1 hour and 23 minutes.
I really wanted to tell Chris and the crowd about my transcendent moment on Friday. We want to save that? We'll save it.
Okay. We can save that.
Yeah. Now, we'll get it over to Rio's Randoms.
You know it. It is time for Rio's Randoms. Featuring new intro music. Some good stuff. New intro music there. We'll be doctoring that up as well, but wanted to try it out tonight.
Sounds good.
Brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Be sure to hit him up. Spring is here. He can mow lawns and weed eat, all that good stuff. You can hit him up at 641-903-1720. All right, so first, tonight, could you go vegan if you had to?
Yes. I could. I don't want to, but I could. Yeah.
For the rest of your life?
You didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a twist to it. Could you go vegan for the rest of your life?
No.
I couldn't either.
No.
Fuck that shit.
0 chance.
Dude, like for what? Like for just my health? Or is it for the family member's life or something?
Say your wife was like,
Yes,
we're going vegan as a household.
I don't want to, so I'm gonna say no. I can. I bet you I could. I've eaten some stuff that just means I'm still gonna eat noodles and everything.
Can I tell you about the time that? So my parents were pretty square, right? And they didn't cuss or nothing like that. Like the worst I ever heard my dad say was shit, except for this one time. So he got diagnosed with a thing of cancer, colon cancer, I believe, and so my mom's hell bent on the doctor said go vegan and eat no red meat, no none of that. My dad always ate beef and he loved it, and so he was suffering through these vegan meals basically that my mom was making. And so we're down there on vacation in Texas and rolling around on the golf cart and stuff like that, and we're kind of chatting about the whole situation. He's like, yeah, the doctor said this and that, and he's like, bless your mother's heart, but some of the shit she fucking makes is disgusting. It's 10 times more funny if you could just picture my dad. I've never seen him say a cuss word out loud except for like shit under his breath. So for him to say that and drop an F-bomb, hilarious. I was fucking dying laughing.
That's hilarious, man. I don't know. I couldn't do vegan 100%. Could not do it. But I do once in a while. I watch these videos of vegans that are trying to make like meat substitutes or whatever, like fake bacon and shit like that. And I'm like, no.
See, I'm not as big a hater on turkey bacon as Danny is. I actually like turkey.
I like turkey bacon too.
I think it tastes good.
It's not good.
It is good. Danny.
I think it's all right.
Okay, so you have turkey bacon and bacon side by side. What's better?
Depends. My doctor says it's supposed to be turkey.
So I'm gonna take the regular bacon all the way, but like turkey bacon, it's not like or like I'm not gonna not eat it if it's the only option.
Sure. Okay. Are you gonna choose it? Are you gonna go to?
We've bought it. Yep.
I've bought it before over the other stuff.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not a fan.
It's good stuff.
Number 2, animal you are most afraid of.
Like, it's a big cat, like mountain lions and shit.
You'd be scared as fuck.
Oh, scared as fuck.
Going out hiking, all of a sudden a mountain lion just come up and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep, I would shit my pants.
I would believe that I'd have a fighting chance against something like that. I was thinking, no,
house cat could fuck you up.
No, okay. First off, no, it can't. You have a sick obsession with cats. Have you ever noticed that? This dude has an obsession with cats. I believe that you're afraid of cats. I get you. But you still bought one or got one. It's weird. Regardless, I would think, I probably don't. I would just believe that I could fight my way out of something like that versus something in the water. You may not even see that coming, which is even more freakier. That's what I'm trying to get at. At least, I don't know if there's a fighter's chance. And you got to swim, too.
So what do you think, like a shark or what?
I'm thinking something like that. A shark, because you're going to feel your pain. You're going to feel your death while it's half eating you. Because a lot of times it just takes one chomp, realizes you're human, and says, I don't want it. But you're like half your torso is gone. So I'd have to say something like that. Shark, something nasty out of the river in the Amazon. That one little prickly thing or whatever that is that goes up your pecker and like expands.
Oh, yeah. And
that shit scares me. Yeah.
You're not gonna,
No, that's in the Amazon.
You're not gonna, but you're not gonna run into that.
A big ass snake like anaconda,
like a big python or something. Yeah.
So
I'll go with the shark though.
Okay. Shark is pretty fucking scary. When I think about ever taking a trip to the beach and shit. But snakes, man, I tell you. So in Texas we have these things called water moccasins, and they, to put it bluntly, they don't give a fuck about you, and they'll chase you down to bite you. Oh. They swim across water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so them fuckers, I was kayaking one time. That bitch fucking hopped in the fucking kayak.
Oh, get out of here.
I dumped the bitch over. I flipped that bitch and swam to shore. Hell no, motherfucker.
I jumped in there. Oh, I would have lost my shit, too. That's what I'm saying. Snakes are nasty, dude.
Yeah. So water moccasins are little fuckers. They'll chase you to bite you. They're poisonous. and kill you, all that good stuff. So, yeah, that shit scares the heck out of me. Living in Texas in general, just because there's snakes everywhere, rattlesnakes and stuff like that. But so snakes for me, for sure.
You mentioned the water, like the big fish, shark, whatever, and I said the big cat. So the first thing that went to my head was that scene from The Other Guys where Mark Wahlberg's like, if I was a lion and you were a tuna, and then Will Ferrell just shuts him down.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He's like, I would get all the other tuna, and we'd surround you.
Create a breathing apparatus.
Go up on land. Yeah. I just watched that the other day.
Yeah.
You have 5 ingredients, now 4, because tortilla is one of them, to make the worst burrito possible. But it has to be stuff that you can eat every day. Like, you can't be like, I'm putting shit in my burrito. No, it's got to be like food you can take out of, you can buy. But make the worst burrito combination you can think of. 4 items you're putting in that burrito. To win $1 million, you got to make somebody throw up. But it has to be edible food that you're putting in there.
Sardines.
Oh. Yep, I was thinking of that too.
Yeah.
I would say sardines, cooked cabbage, stewed tomatoes.
Those aren't that bad.
No, think about what it's mixing with.
Yeah, I get it. Yep. One more.
Stewed tomatoes. And then horseradish sauce.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna go. First of all, sardines. I'm gonna go sardines in this, just because I feel like it doesn't matter what you mix with that shit. But so something like sardines, cooked broccoli, cottage cheese.
Oh, dude, yes.
This ain't even that bad yet. The sardines are by far the worst. These are his hatred.
Oh, wait.
No, I like cottage cheese. Think about the mix, though.
Yeah, the mix together. Could you eat that and not throw up?
Broccoli and cottage cheese, yes. But, yeah, the sardines. The sardines are going to throw this whole thing
That's
off.
exactly.
You got one more.
Exactly.
What do you got?
One more. So I'm going to go.
Peanut butter.
Damn.
Peanut butter.
No, not stuff that makes it good. You're trying to make them throw up.
That ain't going to make
would
it
be-
good. Think about the
that would be-
texture with
Probably
it.
not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That almost like help it bind or some shit, that nasty-ass taste.
Oranges.
Oranges. Okay. That's weird. All right, so I'm going to hit you pretty hard with the first one. Those clams, I'm scooping, or the oysters, I'm scooping them the middle out and dumping them in the tortilla.
Yuck.
Kick you off there. Cottage cheese, definitely coming in next. Probably a hot sauce of some sort, but not too hot. Just
Yeah, because you don't want to mask.
yeah,
the
I don't.
flavor,
I don't.
right?
I don't want to mask.
I
the
was
flavor,
worried about that with the horseradish. I don't want to mask the flavor.
but I want to give you enough so like maybe the original, not the buffalo, maybe the original or something. Some kind of hot sauce in there, and Brussels sprouts chopped up and sprinkled up in that hoe.
Yeah.
That's
Yuck.
Whole bunch of.
Jimmer's throwing up first.
Yeah.
The sardines is where
What's
both
coming
of 'em.
out the other end, I'm more scared of. I think them ripping farts.
Hey, it don't happen.
No, that's tough.
We have some nasty ass crickets up in here. That's all that is.
Yeah, that is not good.
Was that your last question?
That is my last
All right,
question.
I'm gonna throw one in. I saw this come across. I feel like this is a great conversation.
What do you got?
How many 5-year-olds could you fight at one time?
Oh shit!
I could probably fuck up about like 9 or 10 at once. I start swinging my bows, man. Start spinning in a circle.
I bet you I could take at least 15.
Yeah, I'm
I'm thinking 15, and then I'm gonna get tired.
Yeah, and they're gonna swarm you,
Tired as shit.
make you.
What do
lick
you
the
What do you
white
think?
dog
What's your
food.
number?
I think I'm probably gonna break like the first 10, right?
Yeah.
Just a fucking straight kick to the chest or something.
Mhm. Oh no! Have you met my sons who like to punch you in the balls?
Oh, I've met them.
Man,
Drop you to your knees. The next
Yeah.
thing, the next waves get. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna go in that. I'm gonna go 20, 25.
Okay.
Yeah,
You think you drop that many?
yeah.
Okay. Are we talking about like with sugar and shit in them?
Oh yeah, that ups the game.
Maybe
That
some of
upset.
them. Yeah, that would change things. Yeah, maybe the number.
Dude,
goes
I
down
watched Orion just recently. We all went out to eat. Watched Orion have pop. He evidently doesn't get pop at his house very often or at all. He had pop and he went off the cracker end. Like, just giggle box the whole work, so much energy. Imagine 15 of them bastards
Yeah,
have that in them.
that'd be crazy. Like crack for little kids.
Yeah, at least 20 might be overwhelming is what I'm getting at. Oof.
Yeah.
Did we take their game system away?
They're coming at you for something. They're trying to
For
fuck you
something.
up.
I got you.
Something.
Got him.
Like, I just think I love my son, but I would fuck a whole bunch of him up for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
You know.
Heck yeah.
But I saw that come across. It was hilarious.
Keep
I
my
was
power
We
up.
got to talk about that.
Take my power
Hell
back.
yeah, and that is what I got, folks, for Rio's randoms for tonight.
Yeah.
Boom. So before we wrap her up, who's got the makes sense if you don't think about it?
I do. My uncle sent this to me.
No, Jesus.
Pretty funny. I was thinking about it, reading it.
What prison is he in again?
Wrong uncle?
Wrong uncle, different uncle. Okay, so for tonight's makes sense if you don't think about it. This story was sent to me. So this guy he knows, he worked overseas for a while, and he was co-owner of like a Chinese restaurant or whatever. And as he worked there, he hired some of these immigrants. I'm not sure where it was, but he hired these immigrants that were Chinese or Japanese of some sort. And so he started to pick up the language, right? So he's picking up the language they're speaking, and they're kind of telling him what's going on and, you know, kind of what it means in their language. And so he's picking it up. And after, you know, a while, he's like, I'm going to go to China or whatnot, take a vacation. You know, it was, 10 years, 15 years, something like that, I think. He said this guy had been working with these people and been basically taking language lessons, quote, from them, you know, just picking it up.
Yeah.
So he goes to China, and he's speaking, and nobody understands him. Nobody. And he's just like, what the heck? So he goes back, and he's what the heck's going on? Turns out those Chinese, Japanese, American people, he had actually learned Navajo from them.
No,
So these people, so in World War II, I don't know if you know who the Windtalkers are, but they were Navajo people who had come into the army or whatever, and that's how they communicated, so the Japanese, Chinese people wouldn't understand them, right? It's a different language than American. They couldn't break that code. Well, then they kind of, would stay over there or obviously impregnate some of the women and such, and it got passed down. So it's called like Winzu dialect, or AKA the Navajo language. And so for all them years, they learned basically a Navajo dialect of Japanese. And the guy spent all this money to go to China and was learning this, thought he was learning this language, and he wasn't even learning the correct language.
Oh, wow, man.
Oh, man.
Be pissed.
It makes sense if you don't think about it. It's not that bad, but it is kind of funny that
You
he
go
went
over there,
through
you
all
find
that.
out all this
Yeah,
stuff.
everything is
All
just,
for naught, young soldier.
all for not, young soldier. So, words of wisdom. If you're learning something, make sure you're learning the correct thing and not a scam. I don't know if you watch The Office, but when old girl Dwight shows Aaron how to speak Dothraki,
Yeah.
it's the language of Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like, she's like, what? It's a made-up language?
It's a made-up language.
Same thing. If you're learning something new, make sure it's legit.
Yep.
Yes. Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
Oh, yeah. So that's my make sense if you don't think about it.
Damn.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd be mad.
for sure.
Jeez. You
You think you're going to go over there and understand everybody, and you go, nobody understands a word you're saying.
see, and now I feel like he needs to go somewhere where that's spoken regularly so he can actually interact and like hang out and use it.
Because now he's like, well, what the hell am I? Like, I just
What am I supposed to do with
wasted-
this?
Yeah, I wasted all my...
Oh my God. That's terrible. Well, it's just about time to close shop, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we've got hats, shirts available.
Yes.
We appreciate your uncle reaching out with the story. That's a good deal. And don't forget, everybody out there, like, subscribe, comment, all the fun stuff. The podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Anywhere you could possibly think of. We're talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google, and anywhere else you can think of.
You damn right. And your uncle sending us that story, Rio. When other people want to do that, I assume your uncle slid in where?
Just to my message.
Slid in where?
My other uncle like to slide in other places.
What?
But,
Oh, man.
that's why
dark humor.
we won't be seeing him for about 45 years. But anyways, if you do have a funny story, it makes sense if you don't think about it. Words of wisdom, be sure to hit us up. Of course, we still have our raffle going on up at Gentleman's Way in Garner, Iowa. Go get your hair cut. Then you can enter your name into our raffle. And we'll be picking that at the end of the month. Another shout out to Daniel Roy. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Daniel.
And
Thank you.
getting the listeners some info on jiu-jitsu and your life of being an instructor and a gym owner. Make sure to tune in Wednesday. We do have a football player coming from Des Moines. He'll be playing football at Waldorf next year. So be sure to tune in Wednesday. We'll get that out to everyone here shortly, where he's from and his name and such. And, yeah, it'll be a good time. I think we'll be doing some mock draft redos on Wednesday as well.
You know we will. Got one lined up for us, especially after the little crazy quarterback carousel that's been going on.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a busy few weeks ahead of us, and for a couple months for that matter. So hope you guys are looking forward to it as much as we are. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.